Good morning. Welcome to a Zoom video. I'm recommending as one of the techniques that we begin to use these for a part of our active learning, particularly for those of us who are doing a hybrid technique in our course rooms to do some online and some face-to-face. Today I wanted to share just a brief thought process with you related to the innovation that we will be doing with UNCF. We want to see a bigger view of the purpose of our leadership teams and the layers of leadership necessary to impact our student achievement and teaching change in the UNCF work that we are doing, and we're partnering with them for our Innovation Center. The limitations for the success of the work are primarily time, and for that reason, I have chosen to cut a short YouTube video, which I think is a particularly good innovation that most students can negotiate, and most professors can learn to actually deliver these short YouTube lectures or conversations. The level of success that is measured in the learning community's growth is dependent upon how quickly we can disseminate information, have discussions, and turn those discussions into our practice. The compelling force that draws groups together, and our group in particular, are a strong desire to become our best and to help others along our journey. Another natural spin-off of groups that are focused on innovations to improve, expand, or change environments is our need for community and our natural inclination to work with people that are fun to be with and who encourage us to become our best selves. And to me, one of the things that I have observed over the years that has really worked in any kind of a change initiative is really part of it has to be fun and it has to be a choice. So forcing people to be a part of any kind of innovation generally does not serve the innovation well. So everything that we're talking about should be a choice for you. As much as you want to be involved in our process, you are always welcome, and I never want people to feel that they're being pressured or coerced into doing something that they know they really don't feel comfortable doing. There are several layers necessary for our UNCF, Talladega College Innovation success, and no layer is more important than the other. In essence, if people focus on the smallest thing that can bring the greatest change, there is often a synergy that creates conditions for healthy human growth and development, and that is a driving force for living our best lives. The human layers are very critical and are a powerful force for retention and recruitment of professors as well as students. A happy professor produces happy students who are learning. We all have a common need for growth and development as humans, and we're truly happy and happiest when we are growing. This reminds educators of an important theory that is called the ecological systems theory. There have been two primary drivers of this theory, Uri Bronfenbrenner, and then a later version through the African American lens of the African American experience by Margaret Bill Spencer. The gist of this innovation is so true of the leadership teams and the teams of people of great difference and great likeness that we have working on the UNCF innovation. We see that in the middle, there are our individual students. They are our primary target and the ones that we seek most to serve and to do good work and to put out good instruction and a good process for studying our instruction. We are all a part of some kind of microsystem, some kind of mesosystem, an exosystem, and a macrosystem. And I don't want to get too theoretical, but I do want to point out that everything that we're doing with this UNCF, Talladega College work and this innovation that we're doing is all grounded in deep theory and deep instructional techniques. So if I had to name one theory that I feel like is the driving force behind this work that we're about to embark on and to deepen, is the idea and the concept that all of us are surrounded by all types of systems. We are the driver of our system, just as our students are the driver of their systems. We do not view the individual as weak or less than, whether it be a student or a professor. We believe that all people are powerful, but we're more powerful together than we are in a separate entity. Our goal through this process is to join together to do good work, to retain and recruit more students to Talladega College, and more students need to be out in the world doing good work. So recently we did a study group in the work that we're doing, and the first part of any innovation is to do a reading and a study. And the core team of people in the education department, there are 4 of us, recently talked about what lesson study is and what it can mean for us. And we did that through the lens of a lesson study, the first layer of a lesson study team. And of course, I'm a part of that group, Dr. Bridgewater, Dr. Clinton, and Dr. Robinson. We round out that group of 4, and we are the primary drivers of the content and the process work for this innovation. And this was a work session that we did on the book study, on how lesson study works and how it is disseminated. Here, I wanted to talk just a little bit about the wonderful leaders that we have and the layers of influence that we have on our students. We have Caitlin Cox, who is the LAIC program manager. We have Rhonda Sutton, who is an outside partner for us. Rhonda is a knowledgeable other. She has spent years of her life doing professional learning and is very well grounded in lesson study as well as active learning strategies. Alicia Curry is a colleague of ours who is a part of the research study. She is a participant observer. And then on this team, I really actually serve as the liaison between the ACUE study groups, the lesson study process, and how all of that is going to be organized. The primary drivers of the lesson studies team are me, Rebecca McKay, Rebecca Robinson, Michelle Bridgewater, and Dr. Clinton. Each one of us will put into action the active learning strategies that we have been studying and using in our classrooms, and as well as through ACUE, and we will put that out there to the world with a lesson study of which you are invited to attend. You are invited to attend numerous other activities to grow your own understanding of your best practices, as well as lesson study and active learning strategies. And here you can see some of the beautiful work that we have done with our students we have gathered data on these activities through a lesson study process. Again, just the beauty in our students and really defining and figuring out exactly what we are about as teachers. I love this quote. One looks back with appreciation to the brilliant teachers, but with gratitude to those who touched our human feelings. The curriculum is so much necessary raw material, but warmth is the vital element for growing the plant and for the soul of the child or the student. A very critical element of what we're doing, again, is not only grounded in human growth and development theory, as we talked about earlier with Bronfenbrenner and the great African American theorist Margaret Beale Spencer. We have to come together through professional learning and design the work that we're doing primarily through the lens of these 4 sets of questions. What and why are we doing the innovation? What does it feel like when we're actually participating in the innovation? And those of you who are in our final faculty layer of this experience will have a chance. You will be invited to participate in a lesson study. And what does a lesson study look like? What does it feel like? We've been doing lesson study here in the education department since 2015. We have fully worked it and woven it into our programs. This is not something that we dreamed up that would sound good in a grant that we wrote. This is something that we live and do every day in our department. And then after we go through any kind of process, whether it be a lesson study, an active learning lesson, or whatever, we always ask ourselves, what are we to do next? And what is about to happen and what should happen in our instruction. What we know and what we learn from professional learning is if we don't do something within a few days, the likelihood of our actually doing, using professional learning, it decreases the greater the distance between the learning that we're doing and the time that we actually implement. So it is time sensitive. Professional learning, and particularly the learning that we're going to be doing with this innovation grant, is time sensitive. If we learn a technique, the sooner we put it into action and give it a go, the better that we're going to be. I'm going to stop now and let you have a chance to absorb this 10-minute set of videos, and I'm going to pick up with a second set of video where we're going to talk a little bit more about what the role is for each one of the teams of people who are serving in this work.